God, kill me. I want to die. And Gwen, you're with Mr. Roy.
Hello again.
Hi.
Roy Miller. Nice to make your acquaintance, Gwen Donnelly. Fish, they like facing upstream. Fish is always facing upstream looking for something. So I'm gonna give them something. Ah, we got it. I suppose it's none of my business, but are you getting the help you need?
When we were getting on that bus, I saw this look in your eyes, and I thought, that's exactly how I feel.
What's up? Welcome. So that was the trailer for my film, The Darkness Rolled Over Her. You can go to the link in the chat there, thedarknessrolledoverher.movie. You can watch the trailer again. You can share it with somebody else. You can get the ebook for free. You can navigate to my socials and all that stuff. If you go to parabolos.com, you'll find some short films, information on this film and possibly future ones. My books, such as my paperbacks, Kindling, Ciao Bella, The Darkness Rolled Over Her, and my novel, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. And there's a couple of audiobooks on there as well. Got a podcast. All my personal socials and stuff are on there. So check it out. Follow. What we're doing today is we're going to go over some things that I've been working on and see what the next steps are. So I got a new hard drive. I copied everything over to the new hard drive. And so it should be running faster now. And so I need to relink everything in Resolve to the new hard drive and see if now it will run faster or if my bottleneck really is more of a computer issue than a hard drive issue. I also want to take another stab at calibrating my monitor. I just wasn't, I got two wildly different results, and it was based on two different lighting setups. So, there's that. But I just kind of want to go over that a little bit. Before we do that, though, I just thought I would show you my setup here real quick. So we're going to go to the iPhone. There we go. So this is where I do all of my editing, all of my sound mixing, all of my color correction. And it's late at night. My lights are slowly changing to a red color because I do red lights at night, like right before I go to bed. But we'll change this back here in just a second. This is my laptop. I have it up on a tray. So there's a dual arm here for monitors, and instead of a monitor on this side, I have a tray for the laptop. This MacBook M1 can only have one external monitor, anyway. My external monitor is a BenQ PD2700U. It's also known as the designer's monitor. It's 4K, it's 27 inches, and it's 100% calibrated out of the box for Rec 709 and RGB. And it's got a couple of other sort of built-in presets as well. I've got it on a user preset right now because that's what I'm going to do the calibrating on. The monitor was off earlier, so I still need to let it warm up for another 15 minutes or so. Make sure that it's at full color temp and everything before we do the calibration. So I'm not going to do that right away. One of my recent additions that you can just sort of barely see in these lights down here is this Stream Deck Mini. I've never used anything like this, but it was on sale on B&H. I was thinking about getting it, and then when I went back and looked at it in my cart, it was $20 cheaper, so I was like, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and get it. And so I spent a lot of time today getting it set up so that I can operate OBS from it. I can set a marker in Twitch for going back and making a clip out of this if I want to do that. On my next page, I've got more OBS buttons where I can fade to black, go to intermission, or run the trailer again. The next page is lighting setups. So my daytime office, just like during the day when I'm just doing normal stuff, will look something like this. Overhead lights go off. I got a banker's lamp here, and then I've got two lamps down here by the futon. You can see them when I go to the FaceTime view here. So you can see this lamp here by the futon. I've got another one on the other side. I don't like having the lights up like this when I'm working. Number one, it's too bright. Number two, you can see how messy the office is, and nobody wants to look at that, right? So, so I've got these different lighting setups that I've added to the Stream Deck. These are the three most common ones that I use. So this is my daytime office, just sort of normal lighting. Then I have my what I call my edit party lighting, part of a group of online friends called Edit Party, and this is just more fun for being on Zoom with them. And I actually like working in this. It's got enough light where I can see, but it's not bright, harsh light. It's not really interfering with my work very much. It is, there's a lot of purple behind me, and so it's pretty rich in color and could possibly, you know, mess with my color vision and that sort of thing. The blue up here is a little more mild, but for doing Resolve work, I probably need something that is just not quite so vibrant and not so colorful. And so I've got this Resolve set up here, which will completely take out this light to my right because sometimes I can see the reflection of it in the monitor. And then you can see the banker's lamp is just sort of a low golden glow, and the other lamp over here also a low golden glow. In fact, most of the light on me right now is coming from the monitor. Once I have Resolve full screen, it'll be darker, obviously, when I don't have white web pages and a bright background, that sort of thing. So we'll probably calibrate it again under these conditions, even though I got a pretty drastic result last time. But I did not have it on the user setting last time, so I think that will make a change. But I put it back on the edit party lighting for now, just so you can kind of see a little better what all's going on in here. So as you can see, I've got OBS set up on my laptop over here. I'm primarily working from here. With OBS set up, I can see the chat. I can see if anybody leaves a chat message or anything like that. I also have Twitch running on my iPad over here. This isn't the normal way that I have it running. Normally it doesn't show a live video. It just shows the chat and some other stats. And this is actually a little distracting, but it's so weird. Twitch sends you a notification to view your information about your it's like a stream manager kind of thing, and you click on it, and that's the view that I like. But if you don't click on that notification, then there's no way to get it in the app. It's so bizarre. And I didn't get a notification this time because I already had the app open and it had a little slider, and I missed it. And so I guess that's that. So at least I don't think it had a notification. No, it didn't. So I'll just have to use that, I guess, until next time. But anyway, so everything else that you're seeing here, I've got my iPad over here. One thing that I can do with that, besides looking at Twitch stats, is even though the M1 will only have one external monitor, it can also do sidecar, which is where it uses an iPad or iPad Pro as a second monitor. And so that way, then I can have 3 monitors. This isn't, you think that this isn't much of a monitor, but honestly, it's not much smaller than this screen. It's really about the same size. In fact, when I was editing in Final Cut Pro, I would take my iPad and my laptop. I have a little Indiana Jones bag that I would have everything in, and I would go to the coffee shop and I would set up basically a dual monitor setup, at the coffee shop, but it would be nice and tight because it's just the laptop and the iPad next to each other. And I would run Sidecar, and I would have Final Cut, and I would run, usually what I would do is I would run the movie on the laptop so there would be absolutely no lag at all, and then I would have all my timeline and everything on the other desktop. But, and I would do the same thing with Logic before I was mixing and needed the surround sound, when I was just sort of editing and sort of cleaning up individual tracks and things like that. I could use Logic, and then I could run the movie on the iPad, and so it's a pretty nice setup. One colorist that I've seen on YouTube recommended using Sidecar, putting your scopes down here. And in fact, this is the Blackmagic micro color panel that I'm still very much learning how to use. But it has an iPad tray because they make Resolve for iPad now. And so the way he intends to use the panel is not to use Resolve on iPad, but instead to have his iPad here so that his scopes are right here in his working area. And as he's moving controls, he can see what's happening on the scopes and in the histogram, the parade, and all that kind of stuff, whatever scopes he has up. And I thought that was a pretty smart way to do that. So I may do that. I actually have another iPad in the house that I might bring in. I just use it like a TV, mostly just for Netflix and stuff. And so I may bring that in and use scopes. That way I can have all my screens going. Would be great. So here is the remote for my receiver. Back here is the new hard drive that I bought, SanDisk G drive, 12 terabyte, 7,200 RPM drive. Hopefully that'll allow me to play my footage smoothly in Resolve. We'll see. That's the first actual real thing that I want to do today. This is a charger for my phone and a wireless for my AirPod Pros. Can set that on there. I got my water. I got a place for my coffee. I've got some remotes here for lights. I've got a remote for my curtain back here, which actually I think I can add to the Stream Deck as well, and then I can get rid of all of these remotes. I've already got some of the lighting onto the Stream Deck. Then this is my Wacom large Intuos Pro pen tablet. It's also a multi-touch tablet. In fact, you can probably see a very highly reflective spot. That's where the oils of my fingers have rubbed down constantly on the otherwise kind of matte black plastic. But it still works great. It's not fine-tunable enough really for Resolve, which is why I went ahead and got the color panel. I was wanting it anyway, and then trying to use Resolve with this pen tablet actually was not quite as precise as I was hoping. I have this red telephone here, which is not operable, but it is just a prop. But it's from sort of reminds me of my novel, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. If you can see, it's got the red phone there on the cover. And it's a Cold War Christmas story that happens in Continental Air Defense, which was the precursor to NORAD. So the red phone, about nuclear bombs and that sort of thing. And so that's what that's there for. It's just to look nice. I've got a vintage. I got this for my birthday or something, Christmas or something. Somebody got me a vintage Boba Fett. So I've got Boba Fett up here. And I've got some photos. I've got a Post-it note. When I was working on the film, very early on in the process, I think before we ever even shot anything, I came back. I was at Starbucks and I came back to my water, and somebody had left the Post-it note sitting on top of my water. I'm not really sure who did it, but it says, "Keep up the good work. Just keep swimming." And I really appreciated that. And I think that was a reference to the book, because in the book we say keep moving, and it's a book about fishing. So I think that was a reference to the book, which I thought was really sweet. So I've held on to that now for 4 years. I made my chiropractors a Jurassic Park inspired poster that says Chiropractic Park on it. It's kind of hard to see, though. It's not in focus, but anyway, so that was the day that I gave them that as a Christmas present. This is a photo I took that I ended up printing. I thought I was printing it on photo paper, but actually it was the cardboard. The cardboard, it's like a cardboard spacer. And anyway, so, but this is an old Studebaker that's on Route 66 out in Arizona. And anyway, it's still a cool photo, even though it's on cardboard instead of photo stock. And then this is a postcard from Stonehenge, obviously. And it's from my buddies Darvis and Tonk, who are some of my edit party friends. I was talking about edit party earlier. And so I just put these pictures right here to remind me of all my friends and all my inspiration and all my travels and staying healthy and all that. And then I've got my edit party hat back here. Under that is a watercolor that my niece did of the OK van from Home Alone. She made me that for Christmas one year, which was very nice. Over here I've got my negative scanner and my photo scanner, and then back here is my Canon photo printer so that I can print some really nice photo stuff. And then a little harder to see, back here, this black thing right here is my center. It's a Cambridge Soundworks center channel. I've got 2 bookshelf speakers for left and right over there, and then I have surrounds and rear surrounds as well, and they're just bookshelf speakers. They're nothing special. They're not $800 studio monitors or anything like that. I don't have that kind of budget. These are speakers that somebody in my family left me when they passed away, and I'm very thankful to have them. And it's been great for mixing the film. They sound great. They're high quality bookshelf speakers, but they're not, like I said, they're not super expensive studio monitors or anything, but they work great. And then apart from that, I got my Bluetooth keyboard. And I've got my candle, some tools and stuff laying around. My wallet for my phone, which my phone is being used as a camera right now. And then I've got here the box for the Spider X, which is on this tripod, which again is a little hard to see because it's dark. But I'm trying to avoid wrenching my monitor back and forth again, so I'm going to see if I can use this tripod to push the Spider up against the screen. So we'll see if we can do that. And in fact, I think we should launch into that right now because it's now been 30 minutes since the screen has been on. So let's go into the Spider X Pro. Oh, and just looking at my notes. So I'll go back to, we can do a screen share there. Yeah, there we go. Nice. So in my notes here, one of the things I wanted to do was set up the Stream Deck Mini. There's definitely some things that I need to edit. In fact, I'll just show you kind of how that works real quick before we do the color calibration. Because something didn't quite work right at the beginning of the stream. So I have, hey, easy, chill out. So here it's got the pages just like it has on the actual device. This is exactly what the buttons look like. So you can go in and create the buttons. This button here that is pinned in place is the button that it's a toggle button. It starts the stream and it ends the stream. And it doesn't just start streaming and end streaming. It's actually a multi-action. So you can do a bunch of actions at once. So I'm going to double tap into it. Hopefully that won't run it. There we go. Okay. So the first setting for the toggle is to start the stream. And so it switches to that Parabolas await graphic. Then it begins streaming. Then there's a delay so that the streaming can start. And then it fades away to just the background. So basically it looks like the words are fading away. And then it fades to black. And then it plays the trailer. While it plays the trailer, it sends these chat messages to the chat. And then we wait for the trailer to be done. And when the trailer is done, then, that's the issue right there. It calls up the FaceTime scene, which is what you're seeing in this little box here. it calls up the FaceTime scene, and then it hits dissolve, and so it dissolves from the end of the trailer, which is just a black frame. It dissolves to me, and I had those reversed, which is why it just ended in black, and then I was fumbling around for a second. So hopefully that will fix everything. But anyway, so that's kind of how this works, is you can just put all kinds of stuff in here, and there's different plugins for different apps, so YouTube and Twitch and wherever you're streaming to, my lighting and things like that. So yeah, anyway, so hopefully that's all working now. So now let's go to the Spider X Pro here and see what we got. Warm up. Have you allowed your display to warm up for a half hour? Oh, I forgot to check my box over here. Let's do that. That's always fun. Check a box. Okay, perfect, great. All right. Have you allowed your display to warm up for a half hour? I have. Have you checked that no intense light is falling directly on your display screen? So I guess we need to go to, let's see, how do I get out of this? Uh-oh. I need to go back to page 1 here. There we go. Okay. So I want to go to my lighting. And let's go ahead and put it in this Resolve lighting. And I'll shut this door as well. Oh. So we don't get the hallway and bathroom light bothering us. Go back to this iPhone setting here. All right, so lighting conditions. Have you checked that no intense light is falling directly on your display screen? Yeah, this is how I'm going to be working. Display controls. Have you reset your monitor settings? Reset contrast to default settings. I guess it's default. Set the color temperature control to 6500 or equivalent. So let's do that. Go to the menu. And then we'll go to picture. And then we'll go to the color temperature. And it's on 6500. And all these color grading guys are doing gamma 2.4. So I'm going to set it to gamma 2.4. I don't know why they're doing that, I confess, but that's what they're doing. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. Gamma 2.4. And then contrast. Brightness is at a comfortable level. Contrast is at 50. I'm assuming that's the default. Adjust the brightness to the level at which you're comfortable. I'm pretty comfortable with that. Might take it down just a little bit. I kind of like it up a little bit more. So maybe something like that. Okay. Spider connection. Plug the Spider into a computer USB port, which I have done. Okay. And now we'll go next. All right, please select backlight. So I'm still kind of confused here because there's two different kinds. There's a wide LED and a standard LED. And it says select wide LED. Select this if your monitor has a wide gamut LED backlight. Common monitors that fall under this category include Apple P3 displays, such as the iMac Retina, MacBook Pro Retina. I'm guessing like the 27-inch Studio display would fall under that. The M1 screen might even fall under that. I don't know about this BenQ. And somebody online said you can go to this display specifications, and for my BenQ monitor it says WLED, but apparently that doesn't mean wide LED. It just means white LED, which is not the same as wide LED. So I'm guessing this is just a standard LED. I'm guessing that I need to set this to standard LED, which again, that is not something that I did when we first did the calibrations the other night. So I'm going to set it to standard. And so now I'm going to go to next. In fact, this is supposedly an HDR monitor, but the way I have it set now, I want to be doing Rec 709, and that's not a wide gamut. That's a smaller gamut. So I want to do a full calibration. Now see, this says current target settings, gamma 2.2. So So maybe I do need to change that gamma back. So let's just do that, I guess. Just wish I knew a little more about all of this. Because obviously that made the center brighter, obviously. I guess I didn't get that in there as tight as it'll go. There we go. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to get this thing to work. I do have my Allen key here in case I don't. So we're going to do just a full calibration of the display. And so we're going to hit next. It says this display has presets for adjusting color temperature of the white point. Set the color temperature control on the display to the preset that matches the desired white point of 6500 Kelvin. Already done that. If an exact match is not available, then choose the next higher setting. Okay, I've done that. Room light, place the spider on the desk as shown. It will now measure your room light and suggest to you the brightness target that fits best to the room light conditions in your workplace. Be sure the spider X is placed on your work table. All right, so I'll leave the lens cap on and just kind of hold it down here as if it's on the table. And then I'm going to hit next. Okay. And so it's suggested, actually, I'm going to do it one more time maybe. Well, I guess it's already been done. Let's see. Based on the room light measurement just done, the software now recommends the correct brightness and white point for your workplace. If a value more than 120 is suggested, you should darken your room and do a new room light measurement. A room light where Spider suggests you between 80 and 120 should be your goal for an optimal work environment. If this is not possible, be sure to accept the suggested settings instead. All right, room light is moderately low. This level is dim but appropriate for photo image editing. Calibrate the display to a brightness of 120 to 150. LCD monitors, including laptops, can be used in this situation as well as very bright CRT displays. Recommended target settings, brightness 120, white point 5800. Okay, fine. So we'll accept the recommended settings. Please stay at your computer. After you click the next button on the screen, the application will take a few measurements and then wait for you to adjust the brightness control. After the brightness is dialed in, the application will continue with the calibration. All right, so this is where we go to make sure we get the spider laying flat on the screen. So I'm going to take the lens cap off. Okay, it just snaps off. And I've got this magic arm here, so I'm going to go ahead and hit OK on that so that I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to loosen up this magic arm. Loosen up this head here, and this might actually work. I just need to get a little closer and tie it down. Tie that down. And I think that that is working. All right, I'm just going to take a little look at it, make sure that it's laying flat up against there. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought. So now we will hit next. Get the cursor out of the way there. Let it measure some things. All right. Let's see. Click the update button to measure the screen brightness. Look at the target and current values. So the target is 120, the current is 161, so it's wanting me to bring the brightness down of the screen. So we'll go to the brightness level here, and we'll just bring it down. So I'll take it down to 50. And, okay. And now I hit update. I'll take another reading. Oh, I need to keep going. Okay. So this is going to take the brightness down like too far. Update again. Okay, so that's where it wants it. I'm going to go 42 and try that again. Update. 41. Okay, I guess 41 is good. I really wanted it to be 42 because that's the answer to life, the universe, and everything. I guess we'll just leave it on 41. And then, by the way, that whole design on the bottom of the monitor is really great. You push any of the buttons, like you just reach up and feel, and you just push any button. And then all of the on-screen stuff is perfectly lined up with the buttons, so you know exactly where the button is that's going to operate each individual thing. Very, very smart, because obviously you're not going to see these black buttons on a black TV in the dark. So very smart. Okay, so we're going to hit continue. And now we wait. Now that the brightness is way down on the monitor, because I feel like that was the really bright light that it was sensing when it did the room lighting, whatever, you know. So I feel like maybe right after that. Uh-oh. Had a little dropout on the stream there. I've tried to dial in my streaming settings so I don't have any dropouts, so I apologize for those in advance. So while we're waiting on this, if you're watching, what are you thankful for today? I am thankful for this little Stream Deck Mini. It's going to be so handy. I don't even think I've scratched the surface of all the things that I can do with it, and already I can see the value of having the one that's got like 20 buttons on it. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, this is pretty handy. This is pretty great. I didn't realize you could do like pages and pages of buttons. I just thought there'll be 6 things that I'll be able to do, and I'll be able to operate, you know, change my scenes while I'm streaming, and that's it. I didn't realize I'd be able to hook up my lights and launch apps, and you can do all kinds of stuff. It's pretty great. Okay, measuring completed. Please remove your spider and click finish. I'm just going to click finish. I'm going to leave the spider. And this, oh, so we're going to name it. So I'm just going to move this up so I can see. So we're going to call this BenQ PDU 2700U. And we're going to call it 2024-08-31. Still the 31st. Yep. And I'm going to call this first. Actually, let's just do the time. Let's just add the time onto the end of it. So 22:01. So that's the way I timestamp stuff. It looks like just a string of random numbers, but it's 2024-08-31. So that's year, month, day, and then hour, minute. And I use military time, or 24-hour time. So 22:01 for 10:01. Now it's 10:02. Putting that at the end of a file will put all of your versions in chronological order when you're in alphabetical order. Just so you know. Little tip for you. And so we'll save that. Congratulations, your new profile has been created and your system will automatically use this new profile. We'll hit next. And so this was the uncalibrated version, which is super blue, of course, and this is the calibrated version, which is nice and warm. And, you know, that kind of worries me a little bit, like how warm that is, you know. I guess it's matching my warm lighting. So that's why I really want to find some videos here, what should this look like? You know, because actually I don't want it to match my lighting. I want it to be Rec 709 color space. That's what I want. You know what I mean? So I don't, like I said, I don't know enough about this to know. A friend of mine from Edit Party, when he found out that I bought this, he was like, oh, don't use that. Here's this other tool. But the problem is the other tool is like twice as much. which I probably shouldn't have even gotten this one, I guess, but I just felt like I needed something. This thing came calibrated out of the box, but I've had it for 4 years, so I'm sure it's not exactly calibrated anymore, you know. So, so yeah, I guess I just need to learn more about this whole process. But the thing is, I need to learn it now because I'm getting ready to get into color grading, and I can't color grade my stuff, you know, under this setting if it's supposed to be under this setting. You know, everything's going to be so wildly different. So that's not a small change. That's not like a little small gamma issue. I mean, that's 2 different colors, you know. And this is supposedly the correct one for this lighting setup. So I think what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And I'm not going to, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to hit calibrate another display. And I'm going to do recalibrate your display and see what that does. So we'll hit next. This says set the color temperature control on the display to the preset that matches the desired white point of 5800K. Okay, maybe I should have done that in the first place in those other settings. So let's go to that. And go over here and go to user define. Oh. If an exact match is not available, then choose the next higher setting. So there's a 5000, but not a 5800. The next higher setting is 6500, which is what I had it on anyway. Yeah, the user define gave me RGB sliders. I'm not using that. I don't know about that. Okay, so we'll just leave it how it was. I guess that's fine. So next, so now it's going to do the room light. So I'm just going to pick this up, and once again, set it down here at the desk. Okay, and hit next. And now it recommends a brightness of 90. And a white point of 5000. Okay, well, you know, I guess I can change this to 5000. That's just so orange. It's not going to be right. Well, it's going to recalibrate anyway, so. All right. So keep the recommended settings. All right. Get this pushed up against the monitor here. Okay. We'll hit next. It's going to do its initial calibration, and then it is going to give us, it's going to ask us to set the brightness of the monitor, which is probably going to have me darken it even more. Yeah, it's saying it's way too bright. I already feel like it's not bright enough for me to do work. It looks really bright, like what you're seeing, but like here in person, it's like, I don't know. I don't want it much dimmer. So we'll take it down some more. Take it down to 32. Gotta go down some more. Take it down to 30. All right, that's got it pretty much nailed right there. Okay. And I will say on the Rec 709 preset that's built into the monitor, I think the brightness was at like 30 something originally. So I don't know, maybe this will be right. So we continue. Software that everybody uses, even with this device, is called Cowman, but it's like $2,000 or something for a year's license. For a year, after a year, you can't even use it anymore for $2,000. So that's out. If I were building a professional color grading suite, I would get, you know, a better, more higher recommended device. I would pay the $2,000 or whatever for Cowman. Don't usually see the back of my own head. Everybody has always told me since I shaved my head that I have a nice head shape. And I have to say, I think they're right. It is kind of wrinkling up in the back. That's because I eat too much ice cream. I make ice cream. Right now I've got some strawberry ice cream. Cream, milk, a little bit of vanilla, sugar, and strawberries. That's it. That's all that's in it. And it's so good. It's so good. Where's my cursor? There it is. Okay, so now we're finished. So I hit finish. Finish. Okay. And so now we will call this one 2024-0831-2209. And we'll save it. And it's been saved. Okay, so we go to next. And so now we compare the previous with this one. It's even oranger. And look, my laptop over here is not at all. This isn't right. You know, this can't be right. It just can't be. It just can't be. And so now I'm looking at the RGB color space, because this thing should be 100% of the sRGB color space, and right now the way it's calibrated, it's missing a big chunk of sRGB. So yeah, I don't. It says view your current display's gamut 100% of sRGB. Yeah. Oh, I see. sRGB is inside the triangle, which is right. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's right. So still, I don't know. This isn't right. So let's say calibrate another display. And here's what we're going to do is we're going to change our lighting. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to put on the edit party lighting. Little brighter setup. Yeah. This is sort of my normal streaming setup anyway. I kind of like the Resolve, the darker lighting, but we will do a full calibration. So I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna put my brightness where I want it. I mean, I want it like there, at least. Okay, so we're going to do full calibration. It's on 6500, which is good. Oh, wait, I changed it to 5000, didn't I? Let's change that back. There we go. Okay. All right. And we'll go to next. And now it's going to take a room measurement. Oh, whoops. I need to go back. I was not ready. Wasn't ready. All right. And now we'll put it on the desk. And take a desk reading. I need to put it like out here, I guess. Okay. 180 at 6500. So that seems probably more correct to me. I don't know. Okay. I'll put it against the monitor here. Okay. And next. Whoa. Okay, setting the brightness. This actually wants me to increase the brightness, which I am fine with doing. All right. There we go. Lost my cursor. Yeah. So I'm going to update. Raise the brightness. Where I had it before was at 69. Nice. That's too much. Feels like too much. How about 64? How about 65? Boom. Right on 180. Right on it. Right on 180. Okay, now go to continue. It's interesting that all this color stuff is not happening on the screen sharing thing over here. This is somehow happening on top of that. That's very interesting. Oh. And then I would like to compare this to just the Rec 709 preset on the monitor and the original color profile that came with it. All right, and hit finish. And I'm going to call this one EP for Edit Party Lighting, and then 2024-0831 2216. And I'll get a calibration reminder in 1 month. I'll save it. It's been saved. I hit next. And then I'll go. So here's uncalibrated, and this is calibrated, which is still warmer. You see, it's still warmer. So I just don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, this just isn't making a lot of sense to me, because I thought the whole point of this thing was that it would provide a that it would calibrate it to some kind of standard. That it seems to be calibrating it relative to my lighting and everything in the room, and that's not what I want. So one thing that my friend did say was the software that comes with it, you don't want to use it for whatever reason. So he uses that Cowman software. I don't know if there's some other software to be used, but I mean, this is the only software that I have, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just have to do some more research on it. But I just, like I said, I can't get too far into it without learning how to do it, because I've got to I got to color correct this movie, and I can't start until until things are set up correctly. So I'll put the lens cap back on here. Protect the lens. And I'll just hit next, and this is not really telling me anything, so I will just quit. So here's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go back to my system settings. I'm going to go to my monitor here, and I'm going to go back to the monitor presets that are built in, which are here under Picture Advanced. And I'm going to go to Picture Mode. And I'm going to go to Rec 709 and hit OK. And Rec 709 doesn't allow you to... The one thing that it does do is there's this RGB range where you can set it to auto detect, and see how contrasty that is. This is the RGB 16 to 235 mode, so it's like clipping white and clipping black. And I don't know, that doesn't seem right to me. It seems like this 0 to 225. But again, I don't know. I don't know why there are these two different settings. What are they there for? I don't know. And I don't know who to ask. So anyway, now I'm back in the Rec 709 mode. So now really the only thing that I can change is the brightness and the sharpness. Sharpness is fine. And the brightness is where I want it. So that's all good. And so now in my displays, I'll click on and I'll go to, so you can see what I'm doing here. So I got my system preferences here. Oh. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? One second. We're clearly having an issue here. BenQ with audio. Yeah, properties. Okay. Now, there we go. We're back live again. Okay, so I've got my display properties open here. I'll click on the BenQ PD2700U, which is this monitor. Below the sizes, I'll scroll down, and here's the color profile. This is the color profile that we just made with the spider. And again, you can see by putting the date on the end, any things that have the same name before that, they will be in chronological order when you have it in alphabetical order. And so now then, the only issue is there's two different color profiles here. Library BenQ. And I don't know which one of these was the original one. I think these are the same, actually, though. They're not. It's so frustrating. And I don't know where they came from, because I didn't do a you know how Apple has its own built-in calibration thing. I didn't do that at all. You can do Aces Linear, which that's not right at all. There's the other BenQ PD2700U. Let's see if it's like one of these. It's like that first one. So these two are identical, and this one is different for some reason. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. So so I'm going to leave it like this until I can get this thing figured out. I'm guessing maybe the issue is, this is what my friend was trying to tell me, that the built-in software is not what I want to use. Because it looks like the built-in software is just going to get my monitor to match the lighting setup in the room. So like, you know, the laptop will do, sorry, I got used to looking over there. The laptop will do like a True Tone deal, where it's senses the lighting, you know, and adjust accordingly. And like at night, you know, you can have night shift where it starts going really warm at night. And I don't want that, because I don't want the color of the screen to be changing all the time. You know, I want the color to remain the same, the color to remain constant. And so I guess this is what he means by not using the included software. So I wonder if there is any other, software that can be used. Here's a user guide. I have a feeling this is just going to walk me through, the stuff that we just did. Page not found. Even better. Even better. So, he's right. I should send this back, but actually I can't really because of the way that I purchased it. And, I mean, I can, but I just don't know, man. I just don't know. Oh, no, don't do that. I've already got the, okay, whatever. It's fine. It's a knowledge base website. Okay, everything's compatible with my laptop, so we go to B&H and look for Cowman. Yeah, here you go. $2,000 download. Download only. $3,000 software. Item cannot be returned. Here is $500. It's just a 1-year extension, so that's if you already have it. It's $2,000. License for 1 additional computer is $50. You can't just buy that though, obviously. It's like a refill. Portrait displays all access for Cowman Ultimate, $800. Portrait displays all access for Cowman Studios is $500. 1 year of Cowman updates, 1 year forum, email, tech. So is this an add-on if you already have the? I guess that's if you already have the thing, right? Oh, this says the Cowman license is permanent and never ending. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm doing color calibration. I don't really understand it either, but thanks for being here. I'll do more fun stuff in the future, but I'm trying to figure out this this monitor calibration stuff because I'm doing color management, color grading in Resolve, which I can't do unless my monitor looks right. So anyway, I'll get that all figured out at some point, I guess. But it is not very fun to watch. So let me go to, I'm going to try my new button here to load Resolve. So I'll click that and see if it loads Resolve. Yes, no. It seems like maybe, oh, it's loading. It's trying to do something. It's loading. I still have Photoshop open. I can close that, I guess. That's where I was making my buttons for my Stream Deck Mini. Okay, so we'll go into The Darkness Rolled Over Her, check out the film. So what I need to do now is I've got this new hard drive, so what I need to do now is I need to relink everything to the new hard drive away from the old one. Okay, so here's our footage. It's looking great. Looks good on the monitor to me, but, you know, is the monitor right? I don't know. I don't know. All right, we'll go to the media pool, and we will start working through relinking everything. So let's see where all of our stuff is here. Principal photography. Yeah. So let's see if there's a relink. There's a resync media files. Relink clips for selected bin. Okay, so we'll choose that. And we will point it to this drive in this folder and hit open. And now it's going to find the matching media, relinking the clips. Hopefully this is all that needs to be done. But I guess we'll find out. It is getting close to my bedtime, boys and girls. My Resolve micro panel has lit up, so that's good. You can see it here, it's got all the lights on. Moved around some of the I swapped out my USB-C hub and moved some plugs around, so I wasn't sure if that was going to work, but it looks like it's working so far. I know there's a lot of clips, but I guess I felt like this would go really quickly. Oh, 248 clips could not be found. Perfect. Perfect. That's great. Perform comprehensive search. No matches found for 248 of the 1,283 media pool clips from a quick search. A comprehensive search could take some time. No, I don't think I want to do that. Let's cancel out of that. One thing that I probably should have done, in fact, let's just do that. So I'm going to quit Resolve. Bye-bye. And I'm actually going to go down here and we just use this one. I'm actually going to disconnect the drive where all the files are, which is this one here. This is the one that I want to make sure that we're not accidentally linked to. So I will take that out. Now, it's not physically disconnected because it's actually serving as a USB hub for some of these other drives. But I can remount it in Disk Utility, I think, if I need to, or it'll remount next to my reboot. But the whole point is, you know, that I don't need it. So let's launch Resolve again. And it begins to open right up. It's very cool. Splash screen is on my other monitor. There we go. That opened very quickly. Darkness Rolled Over Her. opening up, and I guess it'll give me some kind of warning. Media missing, something like that. There's media missing. It's mostly audio, looks like. So I will go once again to just this folder here and hit relink clips for selected bin. And I will go to the drive. And I'm actually just going to stay out at the root level now. That way it'll get the audio folder, the raw folder, everything. I'll just stay out at the root level and hit open. And oh yeah, now it's searching through all the folders. And there's a bajillion folders there. Finding matching media. Okay, this might take a minute. While this is taking a minute, I'll just tell you about my books. Once again, put a little light on there so you can see me. The movie that I'm working on here is from my short story, The Darkness Rolled Over Her. And it's a story about suicide and fly fishing and hope. And the red fly there, that's Lucy. She's sort of a character in the story. So that's The Darkness Rolled Over Her. Paperback available on Amazon, ebook available through Kindle or Apple Books. I've got two other short stories. Kindling, which was my first short story, which has a similar cover, and Ciao Bella, which is a little 16-page kind of funny, humorous memoir of a trip I took to Italy. Both of these actually have audiobooks. Kindling is in the Audible store, and Ciao Bella is on Gumroad. So if you go to parabolos.com, the link is in the chat there. You can find the Gumroad link to the Ciao Bella audiobook. And then I've got my novel, which is God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. It's a Cold War Christmas story. The back of the book says it's Saturday night, Christmas Eve, 1955, at the Continental Air Defense Command Center in Colorado Springs. A minimal crew, including Airman First Class David Michaels, is holding down the fort, makeshift Christmas party included, when the red phone rings. This story is based on real events that occurred December 1955. Some of the details are public knowledge, a matter of public record, and historically verifiable. Other details have never been presented to the public until now. According to officials from the United States and the former Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, these portions of the story never happened. So it's a fun little Christmas Cold War movie. And it's the next movie that I would like to make, actually. When we did The Darkness Rolled Over Her, or when I finished writing The Darkness Rolled Over Her, I realized, man, there's not but like 4 characters basically in the story, and it's all mostly outside during the day. It's all present day. There's no aliens or period dresses or whatever. And I thought this would be pretty easy to film. I've got a camera, I've got lenses, I've got microphones, I've got recording equipment, I've got lights, I've got batteries, I've got all that stuff. Got a little dolly. I have all the production stuff that we would need. So we raised a little bit of money. Everybody was volunteer, cast and crew. We raised a little bit of money to feed everybody, to buy wardrobe, props, that sort of thing. A couple of locations, some insurance. And I first gave the idea to my friend Noah. I first ran it by him August 17th of 2020. Noah, here's what I think. I think we can make a movie of this. What do you think? He said, I know we can do it. That was August 17th, 2020. September 16th, 2020, less than a month later, was our first day of production. It's insane. We went from I think we can do this to a first day of production in less than a calendar month. It's wild. It's a feature film. It's not a short film. 18 days of principal photography over a month and a half, just as our cast and locations were available. It's taken me a long time to get it edited. It's been very tedious. I haven't really had any help except from Noah. Noah was my Foley artist and is also doing some of the effects. So he's done some screen replacements on some of the shots, and he's doing some of the larger effects as well. But I've done all the major roles on this film. I wrote the book, and then I adapted the book into a screenplay, which is slightly different than the book because it's a different medium. I produced it, I directed it, I shot it. I was a cinematographer. I was the editor. I'm the sound designer. I'm the color grader. 137 clips could not be found. Well, Resolve. Why not? Comprehensive search. Oh man, I hate to do this because this probably is going to take a long time. Because I think it's searching for things that are on one of my portable drives. But I'll just click search, and now it's just doing okay, and it's just searching my whole computer and every hard drive I have connected. It's gonna take just a minute, but at least this way it'll find them all. It's trying to connect with stuff that's in Dropbox. It's trying to connect with stuff that's in, these portable drives. So this is gonna take a little while. Play, and I can see, was it worth getting this drive? Probably keep the drive anyway because I need a 7200 RPM drive, and I'll probably keep the drive anyway because I need a 7200 RPM drive. And it was like $200 off because it was used. I mean, I opened it, it looked honestly like it was brand new, so I don't know how it was used, but anyway. I can feel the energy inside me slowly fading. This is normally where I go and eat about 10 spoonfuls of ice cream and power through for the rest of the night. But I think instead, I'll probably just go to bed. I really don't understand why this takes so long. Because if I go into Finder and do a search, it has everything indexed, and so I guess I don't understand why it's not making use of that index, or why it's not. I just don't know why it takes so long. There's some things about, first of all, Blackmagic, all of their products, especially their hardware products, are just really remarkable. They're just so good. And then software is all like really simple to use. And I like Resolve a lot. Excuse me. But I also, okay, it's found at least one clip. Now it's searching for clip 2. I hope it's not searching the entire computer for every single one of these clips. You would think it would find one, and then there would be other files there, and it would connect. knows, bro? Who knows? I was saying something, and I've now forgotten what that is that I was saying because I'm very tired. It's time for me to go to bed. Clearly my brain has said, "You're done. You're done for the night." Oh, I was talking about Black Magic products. Resolve in particular. I like Resolve. Resolve's color page, I mean, there's just not another piece of software. I mean, is there something else that like Hollywood's color graders are using? Is there like a super duper high end color grading software? You know, but I can't imagine that it does more than what Resolve does. I mean, Resolve is like just does everything. Resolve's edit page, trying to edit in Resolve. After editing in Final Cut all these years, editing in Resolve is difficult. We'll just leave it at that, I guess. Maybe that's just me not being used to it, but I do not move around quickly in the edit page in Resolve. Yeah. And see, I'm reconnecting this, but like, this is just the principal photography. This is the raw footage. Like, I need to be down in that Pixlock folder probably. I'm probably going to have to do all this again once this is done. It's now in clip 3. So I'm thinking it is searching the entire computer for every individual clip. I don't understand how it doesn't access the Finder index and look for the file by name and then compare it to see if the metadata is the same. It's little things like this in Resolves, like outside the color page, that leave me scratching my head. Like, why are you doing it that way? I don't really know what's going on under the hood here, but Final Cut relinking stuff to another drive, it just happens in seconds. It just doesn't take a long time. And so I don't know what's happening here that this is taking so long. It's the exact same files. It's just on another hard drive. Just use this hard drive instead of that one. You know, I don't know. What are some of your favorite movies if you're watching? What are movies that inspire you? I love, if I cut to the phone here, let's see if the phone's still working. Yeah, there we go. This poster right here is a poster for the film Les Miserables by Claude Lelouch, directed by Claude Lelouch. It's a French film, came out in 98, I think. And I saw it at film school in 99, I think, the fall of 99, and was just mesmerized by it. Thought it was so beautiful. And so I have the one sheet movie poster, which I'm really happy about. I have it on Laserdisc. I had it on I bought it on VHS, and I had a 2 VHS set. This was back, I guess, even before DVDs became a thing. But you couldn't. I can't find it on DVD anywhere. I think I bought it on DVD, maybe. I think I have it on DVD somewhere, but it's a French DVD with no English subtitles. So and it's still standard def, you know. So I've seen now there's Blu-ray with English subtitles, but it's region 2. So if your Blu-ray player is not regionless, you know, or is set to region 1, which is North America, then I still can't play it. And a regionless Blu-ray player is like $280, and the Blu-ray alone, because it's out of print, and it's so rare, and so many people are trying to find it. The Blu-ray is between $50 and $70 depending on when I look at it. So it's like, do I really want to spend like $350 just to get this? And like, kind of I do, but I don't, no, I can't do that. That's crazy. So anyway, I've got the laser disc. That's the best quality version that I have. You still have to flip the disc halfway through, laser disc. But a buddy of mine has a working Laserdisc player, and when he was telling me about that, I was like, "Oh, I've got this movie on Laserdisc. Can I bring it over and we can try out your system, and then I can watch this movie?" And I figured he would like it too, so we watched it together, and he enjoyed it. But it's just a really beautiful film. Go to the FaceTime view, and over here you see Brad Pitt as Tyler Durden in Fight Club. He's holding the Fight Club soap. This poster, by the way, is humongous. I think I bought it on like art.com or something, like after I got out of college, after I got out of film school. And then for Christmas one year, my dad, he worked at a frame shop and he made a custom frame for it. In fact, I think it's got plexiglass in front of it too, which is crazy. This thing is humongous. And it is 6 foot tall by 4 foot wide or something. It's it's huge, and it's black and white. And I don't know. I just always loved it. It's just always great, and it looks great in your film editing suite, And then I've got all of my Toy Story toys. This is my iPhone set up there that do the other angle. But there's all my Toy Story toys. I've got my Forrest Gump hat, my Wilson volleyball. Got some Back to the Future and Jurassic Park props back there. I have a few other props. I've got the the Wally the Moose from Christmas Vacation, the eggnog glasses. I've got one of those. I've got an Initech coffee mug from Office Space. I've got the snow globe from the beginning of Citizen Kane, which Citizen Kane is a really fantastic film. I never saw it until I got to film school, and they showed it to us, I guess, our second year of film school. So we watched it, and I was like, yeah, pretty good. I guess I can see why people say that's really good, and didn't quite at that time know, like, it was hard to put it in the context of the time, just in my first or second year of film school. It's kind of hard to understand what other films were like at that time, but it's like, I get that this was sort of ahead of its time and sort of defined what a director, storyteller, is capable of or whatever. But I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then I watched it again as a senior because they were showing it to the freshmen at that time. I was like, oh, I want to go watch that again. So I snuck in and watched it. And now, knowing more about the process, knowing more about how to make actual film, having used actual film in third and fourth year, and then just having a couple more years worth of life experience, just in every way, the film was just really mind-blowing. It was like, man, the script is so good, and the character study is so good, and cinematography is incredible, and how did they make this? How did they edit it together and keep it coherent? I mean, it's just really incredible how well done it is. And then later I taught film and video at this little college, and I was going to show the film, and so I was doing some prep work, and I was watching it again to prepare for the class, and I'm just watching it again going, how did they make this movie? I don't know how to do some of this stuff now. How did they do it then? But it's really, really amazing film, Citizen Kane. But so I've got the snow globe from the beginning of Citizen Kane over there somewhere. I've got a replica of the medallion from Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I've got a replica of the One Ring. I've got a replica of the key to Davy Jones' locker. I think one thing I don't have that I've been wanting is a Goonies key. I don't think I have the Goonies key. That's something that I've always wanted. Is the skull key from the Goonies. I'd like to have that. But yeah, I've got a whole bunch of Back to the Future stuff over there. I've got Gray's Sports Almanac. I've got a Save the Clock Tower flyer. I've got Marty's letter to Doc on the cafe stationery, which I have ripped up and then taped back together. You know, because that's fun, right? I've got it's I guess it was a I don't know if it was like a dress up costume or what it was. I guess it's for kids because it's pretty small. But it's Griff Tannen's hat from Back to the Future 2, the silver hat with the spikes on the top. I've got that. I've got a hoverboard in my living room that my brother got me for my birthday or Christmas or something one year. Oh, I've got the little golden book of Baby's Day Out. I don't know if you've ever seen Baby's Day Out. It's kind of an underrated movie. You want to know a really underrated movie is Mouse Hunt. This was Gore Verbinski. I guess this was his first feature that he directed. There may have been something before that, but this was before he did the first Pirates of the Caribbean. And Mouse Hunt is just, it's kind of like flipping through a pop-up book. It's like you don't see anything on screen that you're not meant to see. I mean, it's just fully constructed for you to to be looked at, which is pretty incredible. And it just has a great look to it. But it's Nathan Lane, and I forget the other guy's name, but he's a hilarious physical comedy actor. Christopher Walken is in it. Several other recognizable actors and actresses that are in it. But it is it's funny, and it's got some great effects in it. And he borrows a lot of like cartoony, like sort of the old Chuck Jones animations, like the old Looney Tunes and stuff. And if you go to parabolas.com, which is in the chat there, and if you go there and watch my short film, Love is Alive. So Love is Alive was written by a 15-year-old girl. It was part of a summer camp program where they learned to write a screenplay. And then they have a screenplay contest at the end of the camp, and they select a film or two films to be made into a real movie. And so that year they selected Jessica's film, and she and I worked on the script together. And her inspiration was, the Japanese manga comics, which are kind of like, if you're like in middle school or early high school, they're kind of like these little teen romance stories or whatever. And so she gave me a big stack of those to read through so I could kind of understand, what they were, because it's not something that I read. But, and I like that, and that was neat. I know a lot of people are into that sort of thing, but I felt like it might be a little more accessible to even more people if instead of Japanese manga specifically, brought it out to a little broader animation cartoon style. And so I was thinking Looney Tunes. I'm thinking Calvin and Hobbes was a big inspiration. Even a little bit of SpongeBob. Thing I love about SpongeBob and Looney Tunes is they're very sorry, I'm making sure that I'm actually still streaming. Yes, I am. They are they're so timeless. I mean, Looney Tunes would do jokes occasionally of like, Nixon or something, something that was contemporary. But for the most part, if you think back to Looney Tunes, like Barber of Seville, or Sylvester and Tweety, I'm Hunting Wabbit, all that stuff you could watch that at any time. Any generation could watch it and sort of experience it in the same way. There's not a whole bunch of cultural context they would need to understand it. It wouldn't be like watching a sitcom or like watching imagine watching The Daily Show 30 years from now. Half the stuff they're talking about, you don't even know what it is, and yet Looney Tunes, 50 years, 60 years old, still plays really good. I think SpongeBob is that way too, especially the first 4 seasons of SpongeBob. There's just some hilarious episodes in there. I've been going back and watching a couple of them. My favorite one is called Rockabye Bivalve, and this is where SpongeBob and Patrick find this little baby scallop and decide to be its parents and raise it as a baby. It is so ludicrous and stupid. But it's really just funny. Like, even my dad thinks that it's funny. My dad, like, it just surprises me that he thinks SpongeBob is funny, but he thinks it's hilarious. And mom finds it irritating. Not my dad, but SpongeBob. Sometimes my dad, but mom finds SpongeBob irritating. And well, I was at home visiting, and something came on CBS this morning that was like talking about the cast of SpongeBob, the voice cast, and it had them there, and they were sharing some stories and stuff. And they would show some clips, and Dad's just like hee-hawing. And he says, "See, I think this is funny, but Mom won't let me watch it." She's like, "What are you talking about? Let you watch it?" She's like, You're not 12. Like, you can watch whatever you want. I don't care." But anyway, I think it's great that here's something that my dad thinks is funny. I think it's funny, and I'm even too old for it as far as like when it came out or whatever. I was already in college, I guess, when it came out. So just, young kids can watch it. Middle-aged people can watch it. Older people can watch it, and it's still funny. It still has a lot of just timeless humor in it. So anyway, all of this came from me talking about Mouse Hunt. Mouse Hunt borrowed on a lot of those same kind of animation styles, and because Mouse Hunt is set like kind of in the 30s, 40s era, it seems, or maybe even earlier. It has kind of a timeless feel. It's amazing how setting something in the past gives you a timeless feel for some reason, But Mouse Hunt, really underrated film, really hilarious. I like that movie a lot. I think my lights are going out because it's my bedtime. And when I don't go to bed on time, my lights go out. so that it will, there they go. Okay. But now I have my Stream Deck Mini, so I'll just go right over to the page where I've got my lighting. And I'll just turn it back on. And there we go. Simple as that. Take that, bedtime. Okay, it is on clip 5 of 137 doing this comprehensive search. So I don't think you want to sit here and wait for it to find the other 132 clips. I'll just go ahead and tell you right now, I don't want to do it. I am going to put on the next episode of Columbo and get in bed. That's what I'm going to do. So that's what I recommend you do as well. Especially if you've never seen Columbo. Columbo's great, man. Early episodes are like super dated in terms of like their production style or whatever, but they're kind of fun. They're kind of fun to see something that dated, and it's super slow by today's standards. But I love it because it just takes its time. Nobody would ever make a movie or a TV show like this now. Everything's got to be like super efficient and all this stuff like that. And no, Columbo's just like he just takes his time and he goes off on tangents and he forgets what he was saying, and it's so great. It's so good. And it's so refreshing. It just kind of slows you down a little bit, So I'm gonna watch Columbo. You go watch Columbo. I'm gonna hit stream end on my Stream Deck and make sure that it ends the stream correctly. And then anyway, hopefully this relinking will happen. I'll do some research offline about the monitor calibration and a couple of other things, and hopefully next time we can actually do some color correction, actually do some color grading. That's what you're here for. That's what I'm here for. So that's what we want to do. But until then, let's get some rest. Let's get some sleep. So go out there, create things, encourage other people. Godspeed, and keep moving.
God, kill me. I want to die.
and you're with Mr. Roy.
Hello again.
Hi.
Roy Miller. Nice to make your acquaintance, Gwen Donnelly. Fish, they like facing upstream. Fish is always facing upstream looking for something. So I'm gonna give them something. Ah, we forgot it. I suppose it's none of my business, but are you getting the help you need?
When we were getting on that bus, I saw this look in your eyes, and I thought, that's exactly how I feel.